Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome to On the Road with Lou. If you know me, you know I've been crisscrossing the country and recently even the globe in a quest to see everything I possibly can, from back roads to big cities. I'm chasing stories, sunsets, and all the unexpected magic in between. But for my very first official Travelcast, I wanted to kick things off close to the heart with a look visiting Montana, my second home. My wife, the mother of our amazing kids, and I lived there for years. We ran a successful bar and rented out rooms to travelers just like you. And let me say, if you think Montana's just mountains or prairie, you're only getting half the story. So buckle up. I've got real tips, a personal story or two, and a little love letter to Big Sky Country coming your way. Let's go. Montana, famously known as Big Sky Country, is where wild beauty meets wide open spaces. From Glacier's alpine drama to Yellowstone's bubbling geysers, this state has it all. Epic peaks, scenic drives, hidden towns, and star-filled skies. And honestly, one trip doesn't cut it. That's why we're breaking it down in a 3-part Visit Montana series, because a place this vast and breathtaking deserves more than a highlight reel. Whether you're chasing national parks, local charm, or the road less traveled, there's room for it all in Big Sky Country. Okay, so listen, I can talk a lot, and I've got stories for days, but let's get you into Montana. Now, I could go on about how back when I was a kid, yeah, I'm officially an old guy now, my folks didn't have much. So they pack up the car, toss us kids in the back, and hit the road. No plan, no warning. 1 minute we're watching cartoons, the next we're off on another great adventure. We didn't have much, but we had sandwiches, a trunk full of gear, and more sibling fun than seatbelts. No GPS, just dad poking at a road map and mom saying, turn left, with no clue where left would take us. It was chaos, but honestly, it was magic, and probably why I still love the road today. Yeah, Montana's big, really big. So for this Visit Montana Travelcast, I'm focusing on the western side of the state. If you're flying in, Glacier Park International Airport, FCA, in Kalispell is your gateway. It's perfect for launching into Glacier National Park and the surrounding mountains and lakes. And when it's time to wrap up your trip, you'll head out of Billings Logan International, BIL, the ideal exit point if you're road tripping east through historic mining towns, ghost towns, and Big Sky plains. So buckle up. Whether you're here for the views, the vibes, or just an excuse to roll down the windows and breathe free, this Montana road trip's got a little bit of everything. Fly into Glacier Park International Airport, FCA Kalispell, and let's start your Montana road trip, Western Wonders. All right, wheels down in Kalispell. Welcome to Big Sky Country, where your road trip kicks off just 45 minutes from one of the most breathtaking places in North America, Glacier National Park. They don't call it the crown of the continent for nothing. This isn't just a park. It's an experience. Picture towering peaks, turquoise alpine lakes like Lake McDonald, glacier-carved valleys, wildflower-filled meadows, and the legendary Going to the Sun Road winding right through it all. Every turn feels like you've stepped into a living postcard. Only it's real. And you're in it. You might spot mountain goats. You might see a bear from a safe distance, hopefully. You will feel small in the best possible way. Suggested time to spend. Minimum. 1 full day, just enough to do the scenic drive and a short hike. Ideally, you're going to want to spend 2 to 3 days to explore different regions of the park, hike a few trails like Avalanche Lake or Grinnell Glacier, and really soak it all in. Trust me, don't rush Glacier. This is your moment to slow down, breathe that wild mountain air, and let Montana work its magic. Let's look at staying in Kalispell. The perfect gateway to Glacier National Park, Kalispell offers charming small-town vibes, mountain views, and easy access to the park, plus all the supplies, coffee, and comfy beds you'll want before or after exploring the wild. All right, next up, Flathead Lake down in Polson. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from Kalispell, and let me tell you, it's totally worth the drive. This place is huge. Actually, the biggest natural freshwater lake west of the Mississippi, and the water so clear it almost looks fake, like someone turned the saturation up just for fun. It's the kind of spot where time slows down in the best way. If you're in a hurry, give yourself at least a couple hours to stroll the lakefront, snap some photos, maybe stretch your legs with a short paddle or lakeside picnic. About half a day, perfect. Rent a kayak or paddleboard and get out on that water. You can also check out the Miracle of America Museum. It's quirky, packed with Americana, and makes for a fun detour. But if you got the time, make a full day of it. Swim, boat, grab a lakeside lunch, and kick back for one of those sunsets that makes you forget to check your phone. It's that kind of peaceful. Whether you're solo, with the family, or just need to breathe a little deeper, Flathead's got you. Ready to get a good night's sleep? Stay in Polson, Lakeside Charm on Flathead Lake. If you're heading down to Flathead Lake, Polson makes the perfect place to stay. It's a laid-back lakeside town with that small-town Montana charm right on the southern shore of the lake. You've got big views, cool breezes, and easy access to the water. So whether you're into boating, paddling, or just relaxing on the shore with a cup of coffee, Polson delivers. It's also a great home base if you're planning to explore nearby attractions like the Miracle of America Museum or take a scenic drive around the lake. Polson feels like the kind of place where time slows down, and that's the whole point. It's not just where you stay, it's part of the experience. All right, next stop, Garnet Ghost Town, about a 2-hour drive from Polson, and totally worth the detour if you're into history, atmosphere, or just want to feel like you've stepped into a forgotten chapter of the Wild West. This place is one of Montana's best preserved ghost towns. We're talking old cabins, creaky floorboards, mining relics, and that eerie but unmarred silence that makes you wonder what life used to sound like here. You can actually walk through more than 30 original buildings, peek inside saloons and general stores, and imagine what this place looked like during the gold rush boom. How long to stay, you ask? Give it 2-3 hours if you're just exploring and snapping photos, but if you're the type who likes to linger, read all the signs, or maybe do a short hike nearby, half a day is perfect. It's remote, quiet, and hauntingly beautiful, a total change of pace from the lake vibes earlier in the trip. All right, after wandering the ghostly trails of Garnet, it's time to head about 2 hours down the road to Butte, a town that's as gritty as it is full of character. Butte is a true piece of Montana's mining heartland. It's got this tough old soul vibe with brick buildings, winding hills, and stories layered deep into the ground, literally. One of the wildest stops here is the Berkeley Pit, a massive old copper mine turned into an eerie, acid-filled lake. It sounds weird, but it's strangely fascinating. And yeah, there's a viewing platform, trust me, you'll want to say you saw it. But Butte's not just about mines. It's full of Irish heritage, quirky museums, cool old mansions, and even underground tunnels you can tour. It's one of those places where the history feels alive, scrappy, proud, and worth digging into. How much time to spend? Plan to stay the night here if you can. You could see the main sights in half a day, but staying over gives you time to take it slow, grab a hearty bite, and catch a glimpse of Butte after dark, when the old streetlights come on and the town feels like a movie set. So yeah, don't rush Butte. It's got more layers than it lets on. All right, once you've soaked up the grit and history of Butte, hop back in the car. It's just about 40 minutes to Lewis and Clark Cavern State Park, and this one's a total switch up in vibe. This is Montana's first state park, and it's got something pretty unforgettable, a massive underground cave system packed with crazy cool limestone formations. We're talking stalactites, stalagmites, twisty tunnels, you name it. The guided tour is where the magic happens, and yes, it's a little chilly down there, around 50 degrees year-round, so bring a layer. And it's not just about what's underground. The park itself is gorgeous. There are hiking trails with wide open views, wildlife, and spots perfect for a midday picnic. How much time to spend? If you're just doing the Caverns tour, plan for 2-3 hours, including a short hike to the entrance. But if you want to stretch your legs on the trails or chill in the park for a while, give it half a day, totally worth it. This place feels like one of Montana's best kept secrets. All right, next up, Pictograph Cave State Park in Billings. It's about a 3-hour drive from Whitehall, so cue up your playlist, grab some snacks, and enjoy the ride across those wide Montana skies. Now, this place, it's pretty wild in the best way. You're walking into actual caves where ancient people painted on the walls thousands of years ago. Over 100 pictographs are still visible, and some are estimated to be more than 2,000 years old. It's like stepping straight into a time capsule. But the whole park isn't huge, but it's peaceful and packed with cool history. There's a nice little loop trail, interpretive signs, and lots of spots to just stop and let it all sink in. How much time to spend? Give yourself 1.5 to 2 hours to wander the trail, check out the cave art, and read up on the stories behind the images. It's a great quick stop that adds real depth to your Montana journey, literally and figuratively. If you're wrapping up your road trip in Billings, you've landed in Montana's biggest city, and a great place to unwind after all that epic scenery and fresh air. Billings has a mix of small-town charm and big city convenience. With plenty of places to stay, grab a bite, and rest up before your flight. Billings Logan International Airport, BIL, is right on a bluff above the city, which means great views as you come and go. It's easy to navigate, has solid connections, and is super convenient for picking up a rental car or dropping one off. No stress, just smooth travel. And hey, if you want to flip this trip and start in Billings instead, go for it. This entire western Montana loop works just as well in reverse. You'll still hit all the highlights from ancient cave art to glacier-carved peaks, no matter which direction you roll. Anyway, that's the western leg of the trip. Glacier, Flathead, Butte, all of it. Beautiful country, worth every mile. But, talking about all these places, it stirs something up. Makes me think about when I first went out to Montana. Things were different then, sure, but really some things don't change. Except the fish I caught that was as big as the Montana sky. If you've got a minute, I'll tell you how it all started. My wife and I moved to Montana back in the 70s. See, I told you I was old. We came out for a business opportunity that didn't quite pan out, but man, did we fall in love with the place. It was the kind of place that just gets in your bones. Wide skies, clean air, and folks that wave at you even if they don't know your name. A great place to raise kids. We ended up opening a little bar and eatery, renting out rooms in the back. I even worked as a lumberjack for a while, real boots on the ground stuff. The whole family got in on it, and we soaked up everything Montana had to offer. The parks, the fishing, the hiking, just living. I remember floating the Yellowstone River with my son Russell during hunting season. We'd hop off on those little river islands, just the two of us, do a little fishing, simple, good times. That river taught us patience and how to be quiet together. And Glacier National Park, that place is carved into my memory. We used to drive up in the fall, take the Going to the Sun road, and always stop by McDonald Lake. Back then, the bald eagles would come in thick. You'd look up at the trees and think it was snow, only it wasn't. It was eagles, dozens of them, perched up there like clockwork during the salmon spawn. The fish would be flopping near the surface, and those birds would just swoop in, grab their dinner, and take off. Pure instinct. Pure wild. They don't come like that anymore. Not like they used to. But man, back in the day, it was something magical. Folks always talk about looking to the future, and yeah, that matters, but the older I get, the more I realize memories, that's what you really carry with you, not the stuff, not the titles, just the moments, the quiet ones, the unexpected ones, the stories that sneak up on you and stay. If I've learned anything, it's this: the future's only half the picture. The other half, that's the memories. A quiet river with your son, eagles perched in the trees that your daughter thought was snow, a laugh across the dinner table in a bar you built from nothing but grit and hope. That's the real treasure. That's what sticks. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still dreaming. I've got places I want to see, stories I want to tell, and a few good adventures left in these old bones. Maybe someday I'll head back up the road to the sun and put together a trip for us all to take. The future's full of possibilities, and I'm not done chasing them. But I know better now than to rush past what's already been. Those memories, they're not just souvenirs. They're the blueprint for everything ahead. They shape the way forward. They remind you what matters. So whether you begin with the thunder of waterfalls or end with whispers from the past, Montana delivers every single time. That's a wrap on this leg of the journey. Stay tuned for the next part of the Visit Montana series. And remember, the best road trips don't just show you places, they leave you with stories. This is On the Road with Lou, episode 1 of 3 in Montana. Thanks for traveling with me.